So hello, my name is Sally, and I've been a Christian now for nearly 3 years. And to say that I lived a dysfunctional life before I came to Christ is quite a vast understatement. I wasn't raised in a Christian home, but I did go to church for a short time from the ages of about 9 to 11. And unfortunately, I didn't have the best experience. I came away with an intense fear of the devil rather than having any understanding of who God is or his love. And from that time, I started to get sleep paralysis and night terrors because I had this intense fear of the devil. And it really, the experience was always very terrifying, and it was always marked by a very real presence of evil. And I struggled with those experiences from when I was a kid, on and off, throughout my teenage years, and right up until I came to faith, where they only intensified more the older I got. But by intermediate school, I had stopped going to church completely. I was really, I was bullied, and I was deeply depressed, and I was really, really hurting. And then when I started high school, I started doing drugs on a near daily basis, right up until I was 15. And fortunately, by God's grace, there was a series of events that really served as a huge wake-up call for me, and I realised I needed to stop. And even though I didn't know who God was, for as long as I can remember, I've always just had a sense of God. I never doubted his existence. And so even at the time, I didn't know who God was. I just knew in some way that it was his strength that enabled me to stop doing drugs. So from about 15 onwards, I was doing better at school, but I still I still really struggled with this deep void in my heart and soul. And then at 17, I unfortunately got myself involved in a very dark and dangerous situation, which lasted for about a year. And I was very fortunate to come through that. Again, looking back, I so see God's protection and grace in my life. But yeah, so after that, I was left very, very broken, but it just fueled that desire and hunger and determination to really find answers and to find meaning. And then I proceeded to throw myself headfirst into all different worldviews and religious teachings I could find, and I delved into a lot of Eastern philosophies, meditation, New Age spirituality, and I ended up studying with the Brahma Kumaris for 2 years. And in my early 20s, I went on a month-long meditation retreat in India. And I didn't have a good time. There was just so many contradictions and things, and it didn't at the end of the day address my brokenness. I was still, my anxieties just increased, and I just was constantly left wanting. And that that thirst for answers was never quenched. So after many years of exhaustive investigation, I finally came back to the Bible and prayed, and I found the answers I was looking for. And yeah, I always remember that day when I realized I couldn't save myself. There's nothing that I could do to become perfect. There's nothing that it didn't matter how much I meditated, it didn't matter how much positive thoughts I had, I was still, in the very core of me, I was broken, and I needed a saviour, and I couldn't do it myself. And I realized then there is a saviour, that is Christ, and I surrendered my life to him, and I knew then that Jesus is Lord. He is the truth. He is the one that satisfies that deep spiritual thirst. And I know with every cell of my being that Jesus Christ is Lord, and how much he has transformed my life and given me a new life. And he's won that spiritual battle.